Okay. Let's try to get through this. Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Ken and I'm on a journey to lose as much weight as I possibly can so I can become a fat guy no more. Well, it's been a couple weeks, a very challenging, difficult, hard couple weeks. I mean, use whatever adjective you want. It's been tough. It's been really tough for me. So before I jump in to all of the rest of my usual weekly update videos, I'm going to go ahead and let you know what's been going on. Of course, most of you know, if you've been following along, that I've been having dizziness, vertigo issues and stuff. I finally had that test last Tuesday, and basically they didn't find a whole lot. They did find out that there's a hardening of the eardrum over here, and the guy who ran the test thinks that there's a lot of fluid in the ear, though the MRI that I had back in August didn't really show anything. So there's something obviously going on in there, but nobody seems to know what it is. And that's been very frustrating. I've been off work for quite a while. I just want to get back to work. I want the dizziness and the vertigo to stop so I can go back to work. But as of right now, we don't have a game plan or a solution yet. So I don't know what's going on. And that's been very stressing, very worrisome, just annoying more than anything, to be honest with you. If you saw my last video, I was down by the lake that night, did the time lapse. By the time that video went live and you guys were able to watch it, my world had changed completely. I am a big dog fan. I love my animals, every one of them that we've rescued. I love them all. So now it's been about almost 7 weeks since we lost one. She was my mother-in-law's dog that we brought in with us after my mother-in-law passed away a few years back. She was about 17 years old. We lost her, and that was not so much shocking, but it was still just weird not having that fur ball around here. Lizzie was her name, and she was just, I don't know. She's skittish. She's a scaredy dog, I always called her, but she was something special, that's for sure. The night that I came home after recording that video down by the lake, we started noticing even more and more with my boy Boomer, which then led us to the question about, you know, when is it time? When is it time to stop being selfish and wanting him to be around in our life and time to let go? Give me a high five. All right, there you go. How about this paw over here? Nope, this one. This one? Thank you, baby. Just the thought of that was killing me, and I couldn't make that decision. That night, I slept with him up in bed with me, and I literally was awake all night crying over him. Literally in tears, just crying all night long. I didn't want to have to say goodbye. That next morning, my wife got up before I did, and I texted her, hey, how is he doing? Because I knew he was out front with her. And she responded, compared to last night, much, much better. So I was excited. I was able to actually get a little bit more sleep. I thought we were in the clear. When I got up, I saw him walking towards the kitchen like I have so many mornings. And so I walked over to him, and his tail just starts wagging. His whole body's shaking as he looks up at me. He was so excited to see me, as he had been for, you know, the just over 15 and a half years that we had him. That night we went to feed him dinner. He didn't really want to eat. So I made him a little pork cutlet, and I cut it up, and I was hand feeding it to him, and he was gobbling it up. He just absolutely loved that. He'd gotten pretty picky in his older age, didn't really like the canned stuff from Costco anymore like he used to. He used to love it. So every so often I would make him something different. If it's chicken with rice with a brown gravy on it, you know, make a whole big batch of it so he could have it for a few days. But that night I made that pork cutlet, and I cut it up, and I was hand feeding little bits and pieces to him, and he was loving it. And then something happened. We didn't know what it was. We thought maybe he was choking on a piece of it, even though they were pretty small pieces. So we weren't sure what it was. And so my wife picked him up and brought him to me, and he laid down right here on me with his head right here, just like he did the day that I met him. And the first time I picked him up, we were at a dog adoption event, and I picked him up. He put his head down right here and snuggled in right against me, and he did the same thing that night. And he seemed to be getting better. And then all of a sudden he was having a hard time breathing again. And then he got better. So we decided to take him into the vet. On the drive down there, things got exponentially worse. So much so that through my tears, I was saying my goodbyes to my baby boy. You know, a lot of people might not be animal lovers that are watching this and might find it silly. I don't have kids. My wife and I decided not to go that route because we met, got married, in our 30s, mid to late 30s, and just decided that wasn't the way to go for us at that time of our life. So our dogs have been our children, or the closest we could ever come to having kids. And Boomer was my boy. When we went to that adoption event, we only had plans to get one dog. And as we went in, my wife and I were separated. And I kept reminding her before we went in, hey, we might not find one that's suitable for us. We had looked for months and months, and there just wasn't any that we felt worked with us, that would be good for our home. Not that we didn't want to adopt them all, but you got to be smart about that too. And so I told her we just might not find one. And again, we got separated going in. And by the time I found her, she had this little tiny dog in her arms. Her name was Mariah. She would later become Tilly. And Tilly was with us for just over 9 years, I think it was. And then she had congestive heart failure and we lost her. The night that we came home from the vet, Boomer was down the end of the hallway. And he could just read it on us. And he let out this mournful wail that I've never heard from him and never heard again, as if he knew he had just lost his sister. Boomer was very in tune to people's emotions. If my wife or even I were watching TV or something happened and it made us cry, he was always right there to look up at us. Hey, are you doing okay? You need a hug? We'd pick him up and he'd give us a good hug. He was very stingy with his kisses the older he got. If you got a Boomer kiss anytime really in the last 10 years, maybe not that long, maybe the last 7 years, that was something special. Boomer was always there for me. Always. I've been having a really hard time since I had to say goodbye to him that night. There will never be another dog like Boomer. And I know everybody says their dog's the greatest. You can just look at my Facebook page from the night that I commented that we lost him. People from all over the country that have met him were commenting how amazing he was. Telling stories that even I don't remember, but they do. Because he was that amazing of a dog. We got to the vet and she put an IV into his paw, his leg, and told us it appears he had a stroke. And from what we had been telling her, she believes that it was kidney related. And of course, being almost 18 years old, that kind of made sense, I suppose. It was just his time. I've been telling Boomer, if you gotta go, but don't make Daddy have to make that decision to put you down. Well, he left me no choice. I had to. So I cuddled up with him one more time. I played with his ears like I've done thousands upon thousands of times through the years. And I told him, as I always did, that Daddy loves you from the tip of your nose to the tip of your tail. And I gave him a kiss and I said goodbye. And maybe it sounds stupid to some of you, but I lost a part of me that day. And I've been struggling ever since. I knew that day would come, but it didn't make it any easier. So that's why I missed a video last week, and why I really didn't want to be here right now for this one. But I felt maybe if I told Boomer's story, and I showed some pictures, that maybe, just maybe, it'd be therapeutic for me. I'm going to miss him so much. And I'll never forget him. But I have to find a way to go on, because life goes on. And I know that. And I know, God do I know, he wouldn't want me to be sitting here crying right now. If he was here, he would be up wanting to give me a hug. And I know that. But I just wanted you guys to know what was going on. And I thank you very much for your messages, your thoughts, your prayers after I left that comment on my community page. Thank you so much. Boomer, if you can hear me, if you can see me, just know that I hope you had the most amazing last 15 and a half years of your life living with us, because your daddy sure loved you, but I'm pretty sure you knew that. All right, so let's get into the rest of this time. So looking at the numbers, as always, I've got my phone here with me. That week that I lost Boomer, couple things happened, honestly. One, my weight went up 2 pounds that week. So if you've been following along, you'll know in my last video, I said I was up 4. So now that put me up 6 pounds. Really not surprised. The stress, the emotion, everything. I'm kind of shocked it wasn't more, to be honest with you. But that's still 6 pounds, and that's a little frustrating. And one thing that I'm very proud of, and I told my wife that Boomer wouldn't want me to do, and that is to overeat. He wouldn't want me to turn to my old ways and to eat to try to comfort myself. And I know that because he was so, he can't talk obviously, but he was so excited when Daddy would lose the weight because he could actually sit on my lap, right? Instead of having to sit kind of on part of it to the side. He just loved that. He absolutely loved sitting on my lap or, laying onto the side of the couch, but with his head right on my lap while I played with his ears. And I knew he wouldn't want me to turn to food to comfort myself, and I didn't do it. I don't know where those 2 pounds came from other than stress will definitely make you retain fluid, and I know that, and that's the only thing I can assume. But with that said, I think I did pretty good considering everything that was going on. As of the recording of this video, it is Sunday the 22nd of September. My weeks currently now that I track are running from Monday through Sunday. That might change once I'm back to work, depending upon my work schedule, but we'll see when that time comes. So as of this past week, let's take a look at the numbers. Here they come right there. How about that? Like magic. Check out that protein level, 123 grams. Yeah, I decided I was going to up my protein a little bit. As we all know, I had been targeting about 75, so I decided to target 110, and somehow I came in at 123 grams. And that's just crazy to me. I think for me personally, that's way too much. So I'm going to make adjustments heading into next week. But we'll see how that goes. My fiber level, well, look at there, 43. Again, I target 40, so just a little bit above that. I'm perfectly fine with that. My sodium came in at 1,045 milligrams. That's with a target of 1,200. A little bit low. I really need to make sure that I'm closer to that 1,200, but I'll take it for now. And my potassium was really high at 5,886 milligrams, again with a target of about 5,000 to 5,100. No less than 47, which is what we should have minimum per day. I like to be above that because I have been deficient in potassium, as I've talked about in the past. So with that said, what did that do for me on the scale? Well, yeah, this last week, I don't know what it was, but yeah, down 6. Down 6. So those 6 that I was up, I'm now down 6. Back to where I was at 362 pounds. So that puts me at 198 pounds lost with Mounjaro and 233 pounds overall. Yeah, again, I don't know. The body is so wacky. It just really is. And so I don't know what the deal is with that. But with that said, I'm kind of excited that I'm back down those 6 and I'm back on track. Hopefully it'll just keep going forward with me here, and keep losing now. I don't know. I really don't know. I've said it many times and I'll probably say it many more, but that's why I don't set goals. I knew in the back of my head, I kind of wanted to be at around 334, 333, somewhere along that by my birthday, if at all possible. Well, that's just like 3 or 4 weeks away now. Not that long, middle of next month. And there's just no way that that's going to happen. And I know that, and I'm not frustrated about that because, that's why I don't set goals. Because if I wanted to be there and I worked my tail off to get there and I didn't get there, that would just destroy me. And there's no reason for it. The body's going to do what the body's going to do. So with all of that said, there's only one last thing to talk about, and it's sitting right there over my shoulder, and that is my Zepbound. If you noticed the header on the thumbnail for this video, it is switched from Mounjaro to Zepbound, and that's because I will be taking my first shot of Zepbound here momentarily. I'll get my wife to record that for me so I can put it right there. I don't know, kind of freaked out about it, honestly. Since every one of my other shots have been Mounjaro, I know they say this is identical, and I'm really hoping it is, or better for me, actually. It's been slow going lately, so I'm hoping that this really kickstarts me and gets me to where I want to be, and we can go from there. Yep, I'm now taking Zepbound. So for all of you that have been on it for a while, I'm joining the ranks. It's about time, huh? So other than that, I apologize that this was kind of a sad and depressing video. I know it's tough to talk about real life things, and sometimes you just have to. I can't always sit here and talk about losing weight and, oh, I didn't this week. Oh, look, I did this week. You know, there are other things that affect what happens in life. And honestly, losing Boomer was a big one for me. You know, the truth is, my dad passed away one day shy of a month after I turned 14. Boomer was with me for 15 and a half years. So Boomer was in my life even longer than my father was. And maybe that's partly what made it tougher. You know, especially because, you know, later in life here, I know they say days go by faster, so it's a smaller percentage of your life. But I can remember every day almost with Boomer, from the day that we adopted him to the day that I had to say goodbye. I don't remember a lot with my dad because, you know, from when I was born to my first memories, I don't. Yet these with Boomer are very strong still, and they're going to continue to be. I mean, that's just reality. We all go through things that affect our weight loss journey, and this one could have been really bad for me. I mean, I went up those 2 pounds that first week. Again, I think it was just fluid retention from the stress, and it's gone now. All that weight is gone. But with that said, it could have been much worse. It could have been much, much worse. And I think not only the memory of my buddy Boomer, but this medication right here for helping me realize that turning to food is not a solution. Because if I'd have done that, it could have got ugly. But here I am, 2 weeks tomorrow. So as of when this video goes live, it'll be 2 weeks yesterday, losing him, and I'm back down to 362. That's the lowest I've been. 198 pounds off with Mounjaro, 233 overall. And even though I lost a big part of me 2 weeks ago, I'm looking forward to the future. I'm really looking forward to losing more weight and being able to go and do more. Boomer will always be right here with me, always. So everywhere I go, he'll be with me, and I know that. And I'm just grateful that I can get out and go, thanks to this medication. So hey, thanks for watching. If you haven't already hit subscribe, if you would please, trying to get to that magical 1,000 mark. Not too many more to go, so if you haven't already, please hit it, especially if you're watching this late. You know you want to watch these videos, so go ahead and subscribe for me. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to follow me on my journey to become a fat guy no more, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video. Oh, that was brutal. Hey, here's another great video for you to check out. Just click on it right there, click that one right there, and go watch it. Yeah, thanks for that. Have a great day.